Previously on Ask Me About K-Pop. We're going to go all the way back to the year 2000.
Some of you weren't even born.
I know. TXT was not born. ITZY was not born.
Shut your
A lot of
dirty
you
mouth.
guys were not born. So it's the year 2000. It's January. We've survived Y2K.
Yep.
But Music Camp was canceled when those guys showed their peens, and it became Music Bank instead. Scoopy singing.
Scoopy, and also every word is ho hard. It's like such an effort to get out.
Yes. There are a lot of abs in that music video because they are taking sad showers and sad baths and removing their tank tops sadly. This is our first big shock news of 2000. Sekshki's disbands.
Dun dun dun.
They did a nude photo shoot. They're
We
still
have
together.
to mention it
Never
every
forget.
time Shinra is brought up.
All
This
about
was exactly 10-year-old Angelica's vibe, and it is 30-year-old Angelica's vibe
Right?
too.
I love it. Hello! Welcome to Ask Me About K-Pop, the essential guide for recent converts and seasoned fans alike. My name is Shannon, and this is a fake intro because we cut last week's episode in half, so it doesn't have an intro. So I'm making one right now so that there would be something to play after the theme song. Anyway, we're going to pick it right back up where we left off last week, which was end of June 2000. Here we go. Take it away, Shannon and Angelica. Okay, so this next thing I have in July might sound familiar.
Okay.
It's possible if you are a variety show watcher or you stan any like embarrassing groups. Because I feel like this is a song that people like to do.
Okay.
So this was a comeback in July, a solo artist named Hong Kyung-min, and he put out a single called Broken Friendship. So this fellow fancied himself Korean Ricky Martin. It said so on Korean Wikipedia.
No. I reject
now.
that moniker.
But
There's nothing Latin pop about this except for the arriba.
That's true. But this guy, I feel like similarly to Ricky Martin, this guy was really feeling himself in every performance that I watched. And he was dancing so hard and he was actually kind of hot. Like his outfits and hair were bad, but he was pretty hot. Because I feel like a lot of these like solo songs that got popular or whatever, they're like ballad singers or like older guys, but like this guy was like actually a young hot guy.
Sure. He was known for his husky voice.
It is very husky.
Yeah.
But yeah, the lyrics to this one are basically like, sorry, bruh, I'm gonna steal your girl. She likes me better. Like, miane, 친구야. Like, that's... And,
Sorry, friend.
yeah, and I've heard...
She's mine.
I feel like I have heard this song only in the context of like idols being weird at karaoke or like having...
Sure.
Like, I have heard this song so many times, like sung like too loudly by like rowdy boys. So it's stuck in the public consciousness is the point.
Fair enough.
And why it needed to come up. Yeah, because I wrote, every idol sings this song. Why do I know this song? And that's why. So then debut in July, United N Generation, or just UN. And their debut single was called Voicemail.
What song is this ripping
I know.
off? Because that
That's
chorus... What is that?
I was thinking that the da-na-na-na, 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 bum-ba-da. It's Scrubs.
Yes.
I don't want the background piano is TLC Scrubs for sure.
Okay, but the chorus melody
chorus,
is
I
something
don't-
else. Is something
It's
else.
something else. Let us know in the
Please
comments.
tell us because it's driving me nuts.
But
it's
this was-
literally the only thing I wrote down was what is this song?
This was a two-boy duo. One of the boys had that horrible hydrogen orange hair. The other one got to have black hair, but both of them had long, shiny mullets. And yeah, this song sounds like it has the same instrumentation as TLC Scrubs. And the stage of theirs, I watched their debut stage. They are wearing these like mauve suits that are just like barely a color, and they fit them so poorly. And they lip synced so badly. I've never seen someone lip sync so bad. I didn't know that you could lip sync that bad and that they would still put it on TV.
Yeah.
It's like they're not even trying.
It's
I
pretty
couldn't
bad.
believe it.
It's wild. I love the way that you say mauve.
Mauve.
You made it like force mauve.
Because it's so barely mauve. You have to say it really slow because they're like barely a color. Okay, this next one I'm excited to talk about because it's interesting, and I believe that it was a meme song. I can't figure it out. I don't know when it came out, but I think it was around this time. And this was a group called Country Coco, which was
KK.
Yeah, Coco, which I think means like the Korean Wikipedia was English translating it to cock. But anyway,
I hope it is that.
I hope it is.
Country cock.
Because this was one of the guys from Rula,
Yes.
who we've talked about before,
Who went to jail.
and an actor. And the single is called Oh, Where Are You Going? So this song it like swept all of the music shows for the whole summer. Every performance I watched of it, the crowd was like screaming every word. So I was like, is this a meme song? Like, did the kids just latch onto this because there's like something funny about this that I'm not getting?
I think so, because when I looked this group up, I read that they were known for their witty lyrics.
Okay.
So I bet that the song itself must have maybe like a lot of double entendres, and maybe their name itself is a double entendre as well. Which for any ESL listeners, a double entendre is a phrase that usually has a hidden sexual meaning.
But is otherwise very innocent.
Yes. They ended up winning like the popularity award at the Golden Discs later. So this was like hugely popular. But the Rula member that is in this is the one who later went to jail for gambling.
Fun. So we're moving through the summer, unless you have something else.
I have two more for July.
Okay.
The first one is a group called Juarim. I don't know, maybe Juarim. I want to say like Juarim, but that's not
Juarim. But that's very
Their
Spanish.
song is called Magic Carpet Ride.
인생은 한 번뿐 후회하지 마요 진짜로 가지고 싶은 걸 가져요 이렇게 멋진 파란 하늘 위에 쥐어진 마법 정원으로 와요 색색의 보석 꽃과 노루비단 달콤한 우리
If it helps, I see Jaurim over here.
Thank you very much. This is a band that the lead singer is a female. She also plays the guitar.
She has great giant hair. It's so big and
it's
curly.
so big and curly. It's excellent. I fucking loved this song.
Yes.
I thought it was like the vocal sensibilities of Love Shack, B52's meets like the sort of like cool alternative vibe of like Letters to Cleo. It struck
Oh my God,
me-
Letters to Cleo. Yes,
I know,
bitch.
right? It struck me as a song that would have been on the 10 Things I Hate About You
Yes.
soundtrack. And I am so into it. It came off the LP. The LP was called The Wonderland, and this is just a good song, y'all. This is just a good song.
I love it. Thanks for noting that.
The last one I noted for July is a JYP artist. Her name is Park Ji-yoon, and this song is called Adult Ceremony.
This is a bop.
I was just going to say, it's totally a shame that she is not an excellent singer because this song is good. It was written and composed by JYP, and it's a bop.
I saw before we started recording, I'll have to look them up because maybe they will like maybe they'll give us the vocal strength that we want. But I've seen that one Ha-young from A-Pink, one Joy from Red Velvet, all of Nine Muses. Like, this has been done before.
Yes.
But it must be iconic because every cover I looked up of it, everyone is wearing what she is wearing is like a high neck, like a turtlenecked, like crop sort of thing with like cool cutout sleeves, and then a long skirt with the slit all the way up to the side.
Yeah.
And everyone who's ever covered this, that's what you have to wear. I think the skirt is part of it.
Because I think the skirt with the choreo is
Which is very like
it's
angle
very
hands,
handsy.
voguing.
And Park Ji-yoon has like since spoken about this song and revealed that she had no idea how racy it was. But the lyrical content is basically like, I'm a woman now, like I become a woman with your kiss, blah, blah, blah. And she like didn't know that it was quite so sexual. But it's a good song.
Yeah, it is a good song. I like that one. So that was July.
Yes.
Yes? All right. So in August, it's time for another debut. This is a little girl group, a 5-member girl group. They were called Papaya. And their debut album was called Fairy Tale. And the single was called Smile, Smile. So this is fun. I think this is fun. It's like, I mean, it's very silly and it's definitely something. But I appreciated whatever it was that Papaya was trying to do because it's definitely trying to be different in some way. Because a lot of the girl groups that we've watched so far, the girls are wearing like cool slit skirts and have crazy eye glitter and like, you know, we're doing that future girl group idol thing.
Sure.
But something about Papaya, we were just noting that they look like a Gap commercial in their stages because they're wearing like turtlenecks and vests and berets.
Yeah.
Like the way that people wear too many clothes in a like TV commercial. They're wearing like so many clothes in a like regular cool girl kind of way.
But it's all in a like burnt orange, olive green color palette, which is not a good combination. But it's fine.
They also have people in full happy face mascot costumes dancing with them.
I wrote emojis on stage before emojis were a thing. But
They
it's
were ahead of their
literally
time.
an emoji. It really is. But I also wrote down, is this a hoedown? What is happening?
Yes, the country part is very, very interesting because it's like a cheesy, like we sing songs kind of country. Because we didn't talk about it, but the number one song in America for 2000 was Faith Hill's "Breathe," which is an excellent song. But there was like some country
Says
slipping.
two Texas girls.
Yes, but there was some country like slipping onto the pop charts, and we haven't gotten to any of the examples yet. But there's definitely like a cowboy hat, like people doing the cowboy aesthetic in 2000. But this is the only example of like, square dancing, hoedown kind of music. Yeah. So it feels like it's for children because there's nothing like grown up or sexy about, like they're just like doing a hoedown with mascots in like full boots and turtlenecks and scarves and like dressed.
100%. It's very after school special.
It's very after school special, but I did make a note of this one that all of these these girls and many of the girls like got off better with the hair of the time because everyone just had that Jennifer Aniston layers, little highlights here, but you just like curl it in towards your face, part it straight in the middle, and that's fine.
Or
this
it's
group
just
just
long
has
and
like
straight.
Yeah, just hair. Yeah. So at least they had that. So that was the debut of Papaya. Our next debut is very exciting.
Iconic.
On August 25th, little baby, 13 years old in her little tracksuit, Boa debuts with her debut single, ID, Peace Be. So this was the debut of Baby Boa. SM had a new solo artist and she was a little bitty girl. And they threw her out there.
She could sing and she could dance and she was here to blow them all away.
Yeah. So this song, it peaked at number 10 and it sold a moderate 150,000 copies. It definitely wasn't a flop debut, but like Boa's time was coming. This was her debut and her we're like we promised, 2-part BoA episode this year.
Oh, yes.
So just get ready for that.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, but this was her debut and she always wore like baggy track pants and she like danced like a boy.
She was a child. She was literally 13 and she's very good at that like hip hop style dance choreography. So she's just, and that's always been her thing. So welcome to the scene, BoA.
Yeah, BoA's on the scene and one little baby boy named Yuno puts a BoA poster on his ceiling. Oh, isn't that sweet? That's a thing that we know isn't true. We know that's a true.
We know it's a fact.
I love it.
And soon they'll fall in love. And
It's
they'll
so
be together forever.
Okay, so September, this is a moment. It's a very big moment. So there is this guy. I have to do some backstory before we play this song. There was this guy, solo artist, Cho Sung-mo was his name. And when he debuted in 1997, he did this wild thing that no one had ever done before, where he did not appear in his own music video or do any live performances or anything. He was a faceless singer. Nobody knew what he looked like.
Interesting.
So he put out a whole album without anybody knowing what he looked like. He eventually revealed his face in 1998. It is in an episode of Reply 1997 because the mom thinks he's going to be ugly and he's not. But he put out an album in September called Let Me Love, and the single is called Do You Know? Okay, so this song was on the soundtrack of a war movie called Missing You. So it's already a movie soundtrack, which back in the day, people used to really give a shit about movie soundtracks. But this album sold so many copies that still here in 2020, it is 13th on the list of Korean albums of all time under EXO and BTS. This album was a big deal.
Wow.
So even though that just sounded that was a ballad, Shannon, I know, but it was a huge deal. So we had to include it because at the end of the year, it won every award. It outsold everyone. This album was huge.
Yeah. This was a defining song of the year.
Celine Dion Titanic song or whatever.
Yeah.
This was a song.
Yeah.
So that was that. Then on the 6th of September, a group we've talked about in a forever old random game, debut of CB Mass. This is Dynamic Duo plus their friend who stole from them.
Yeah, I wrote Dynamic Duo plus Thief.
Yes. And their debut single was called Soul Blues. Yeah, so all I wrote about this is this was Dynamic Duo and they still had that friend. And they kicked him out a year later and became Dynamic Duo. So, but that was a debut. It happened. Have to note it. Okay, this next thing on the list, I'm literally busting to talk about because I can't believe that I missed this somehow. So, remember way back in our first generation episode, we told you about how K-pop as a genre was essentially invented or spearheaded by one Sotaiji and the Boys. Well, after this extreme success from Sotaiji and the Boys, Sotaiji said, I don't like being famous. I am an artiste. I retire now. So 2 years into his career, he retired and he moved to America. And in the year 2000, he came back to Korea and he showed up at the airport looking like a woman. Let me show you this picture because he still talks about it because it was all the headlines were people being so Taiji looks like a girl. His haircut is very, very feminine and he was just wearing this this crazy geometrical shirt. When I saw the articles first and then I saw the picture and I was like, oh, I guess I get it.
Oh, wow.
Look, that could just be a girl.
That could definitely just be a lady. That is a woman's haircut, though.
Right?
That's a woman's like long bob.
Anyway, he still says this was one of the most embarrassing moments of his life because thousands of people showed up at the airport because he was coming back to the country. And he thought that like
He could
no
come
one
back
cared,
incognito.
but he couldn't. So he came back and he was like, remember how you liked that fun puppy hip hop I was making? Well, fuck that. I make new metal now. And he put out this song called Ultramania. Yeah. So he was like, corn? I can do that. And that's what he did. And this album sold almost 1 million copies in 2 days. The album and both songs, this one and another one called Internet Wars, went to number 1 immediately. The album sold 1.5 million copies in the year 2000.
Wow.
People went apeshit for this. And the live performances of him doing it and the kids like moshing and stuff, it's very strange to see.
I didn't
know
about this.
That South Korea also had shitty new metal and that it was made by like their pioneer of pop music. I'm just still like shocked by this.
I know. He said, I don't need the boys, but instead got box braids. That
Yes,
are, like,
red
bright
ones.
red. And he's just like headbanging his heart out. And it's terrible.
Yeah.
I hated this.
But people loved it. The point is that the people loved it. And So Taiji was back and he was a new metal star now. Okay, slipping back into comfortable territory. At the end of September, H.O.T. came back with an album called Outside Castle, and the single was also called Outside Castle. My first notes on this song are, this song is 85% whispers, what the fuck, and it's 5 minutes and 35 seconds. SMU so crazy. And
It is a really long song.
And when they performed it live, they had a full orchestra.
Yeah.
And all I could think was just like, yeah, like this is SM, like decadence at its finest. Like H.O.T. were their golden boys. And like it was the year 2000 and Lee Soo-man was like, they will have an orchestra.
Absolutely.
Like, it's just really a lot.
It is, but I love strings and pop music.
Yeah.
I just absolutely adore that like violin. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. I also noted that me and Kangta I had the same hair that Kangta has in this video in 2007. That hair, that Victoria Beckham, really short in the back, really long at your chin, like angular haircut. And it was the same like coppery shade. Like me and Kangta had the same haircut at one point.
We're going to need a photo side by
I
side.
will give you a side by side.
Please do.
Yeah, this album went to number 1 because it was H.O.T.
Yeah.
Like Sex Kiss is gone. H.O.T. is on top.
H.O.T. is it, baby.
Yeah, and this song like won all the music shows. It's H.O.T. H.O.T. Outside Castle. People loved it. The next thing I had in September, again, I could not find an exact date for this, but at some point in September, Turbo disbanded. Contracts expired, and like I said, conflicts with their management were well known, so it like wasn't surprising to anybody that Turbo disbanded. But that happened at some point in September. October, are we ready to move on to
Ready
October?
for October.
On the 29th of October, Finkel had a comeback. We've talked about Finkel before. This is where Lee Hyori came from.
We definitely talked about them on our first gen ep, and it's written Fin capital K capital L.
Finkel. And the single, it was called Now.
나 살고 싶어 to say goodbye I know you miss me I'm crazy now 뜨거운 너의 품에 쉴 수 있게 꿈꿔왔던 satisfaction 모든 내
So this song was supposed to be like a signifying comeback for Finkel, that they were grown now.
Yes.
So they're wearing like suits and like silk pajamas like TLC in the music video. And then they also did some stages in like a loosened school uniform with the boobies popping out like Britney Spears to be like, we're adults.
Women now.
The video for this one was really weird. I couldn't quite figure out what was happening in it. They're like filming each other and they're like in a guy's house and they're like touching all his stuff. And then at some point he comes home and he's like, people have been here. And then the girls like put masks down and like, I don't know what was happening in it.
Yeah, it's weirdly torturous and like predatory.
Yes, they were like bothered. They were like touching his things.
The chorus of it. Well, okay. First of all, men sing the chorus of this song. There's a part of this song that sounds like it's being sung by men. But the part where they sing like da 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 ba ba ba, that is a U.S. boy band song, and I cannot put my finger on which one, and it's driving me a little crazy. So if you know what it is, again, please.
This whole episode has just been like a game of like, what song is this also? And they're also all each other because there's like melodic similarities in every single one of these. Mm-hmm. This song started in the drum track is the same as a Super Junior. I lost it.
Oh, you were just singing
'Cause I can't stop thinking about your girl.
Yes. That was good harmony off the cuff.
So that was Finkel. That album sold like 500,000 copies. People still were all about Finkel. November.
Yes.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, Comeback. Jung-hwa.
Yes.
Album titled Queen of Charisma. She put out 2 singles, Escape and Crack. Do you have an opinion about which one we should play? The Escape has the creepy, sexy music video.
Yeah, I loved
it. It's more fun.
Can we play a little bit of both?
Sure. Let's do Escape first. Okay, and then Crack. So the first thing that I wrote after watching both of these music videos is she is the queen of this extremely specific thing that I can't describe. The only thing that it ever makes me think of is these commercials that used to be on TV for like compilation albums of like world dance music. And it would have, like Enya or whatever. And remember those commercials where they would just play like 5-second snippets of like a bunch of songs to get you to buy like Pure Moods or whatever. I feel like there was one that was like some kind of world dance club mix, and like every Jung-hwa song like could have been in one of those commercials. And like that's what I always think of. It's this like very specific, very dated, like tiny period of time where like this kind of like world dance music was being made, and she's very good at it.
She's very good at it. I noted that like I feel like there's like a professionalism that I think she brings that other groups do not. Like,
some of these people on these stages legitimately looked scared, and unrehearsed, and like did not have the swag. But like Jung-hwa has always had that stage presence.
Absolutely. Even when she's doing really silly hand choreography, which is like the majority of Crack. There's
stuff.
Literally a part where like the quote unquote dance break is them going like this.
Yeah.
Just like rubbing your hands like back and forth in the air at an angle. And it's really silly. But she wears this incredible diamond wig in the music video for Escape.
Which is like really sexual and strange. There's like knives.
Yeah,
she's like, she's like crawling on the ground and she's like, ooh.
She's like a magician's assistant and he's throwing knives at her, but he's not very good with the knives.
Right.
So like maybe she could die.
And she needs to escape.
Jung-hwa, an icon, a queen.
For sure. So just a few days later in November, this is another like very, very big moment for 2000. G.O.D., as we said very early in the year, put out a reality show that made everybody love them. Mm-hmm. So in November, they put out their first album post Everyone Gives a Shit About G.O.D. And it was called Chapter 3. And the single is called Lies.
어쩔 수 없음을
Danny.
알기에 너무나도 잘 알기에 어쩔 수 없어 널 속일게 미안해 널 울릴게 잘 가지마 행복해 떠나지마 나를 잊어줘 잊고 살아가줘 나를 잊지마 나는
Okay, this song, obviously, as you can hear, is like a perfect R&B breakup song. But I think one of the reasons that it was like so popular is the like lyrics of it all. So it's like called Lies. But in the chorus, he's saying like, I am fine. And the other ones go, it hurts so much. And then he's like, please just go. And the other ones are like, don't leave me. Because he's lying.
Right.
So he's like, everything he says is like a lie. And one of the like rap verses literally ends with one of them just going like, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Like he yells.
And isn't there a part in this song at some point where someone just like, there's like a woman who just screams.
Yes, she just like screams.
Ah! Like not like a melodic scream, just like a pained
Yes.
scream.
But the song is like really long. It has like 2 key changes. It's like it's got everything that you want in like a hit. In like a hit.
And a hit
Breakup
R&B
jam.
in a hit R&B ballad. It also has Danny
On.
And
Danny On is one of the hottest idols to ever live, and I will fight you about it. Danny On is so hot.
what's he doing nowadays?
I don't know. Being hot somewhere, probably.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a while.
He used to be an MC of
We Got Married.
and it was the best because he would get really bitter because he was single
His
and he
eye
would just
smiles.
like cringe
So mad.
and like cuddle a pillow and just be like, why doesn't anybody talk to me that way? And it was just really relatable.
Oh, Danny, I love you. But anyway, he is a member of G.O.D.
Okay, I have 3 other things for November before we
One
move
more
on to
thing
December.
about this Lies, and then you can
for
go
sure.
on. The drum track is exactly the drum track of R. Kelly's I Believe I Can Fly. Okay, now you can move on. I just had to say it.
Absolutely. 100%. You could probably sing I Believe
I think
Could
you
Fly,
can, because when it
completely
starts,
over it.
it's
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have specific dates on these, so I apologize if they're like somewhat out of order, but whatever. These things all happened in November of 2000. Number 1, Jung Il-young released a song called Prayer. So I normally probably wouldn't have noted this song because it's just a ballad and
Right.
like he's just like a solo artist and you know he's a little bit on the older side. But this song was the OST for a drama called Autumn in My Heart, which is now considered to be one of the groundbreaking dramas that not only like made K-dramas what they are today, but also was really influential in the Hallyu wave. It had 46% viewership, which
Yeah.
means like everybody was watching this show. So I just had to have it on the list of like, this was a major
Oh, yeah, that's important.
OST. And because this drama was like popular, starting to become popular abroad, this song was also like starting to be heard in other countries.
I wonder if this is okay. So Won Bin was in this drama. I remember. I'll have to go back and listen, or if it was a different one because I guess this one is related to Winter Sonata. And it was like they did like a season's anthology because Winter Sonata is one I've heard about for sure. And I remember in that drama episode, I told a story about one of these was like so popular in like Hong Kong or something that it like created a stink.
Yeah.
Great. Love that. So that's Jung Il-young, Prayer.
Yes. The next one I have is from a guy named Yoo Song-jun, and his song is called Wish You Could Find.
Wish you could.
this guy, I mean, this song is pretty fun. So,
but also, again, it's another one that I feel like I could sing 2 of the songs we've already heard today right on top of it, and it wouldn't even make a difference.
100%.
It's already together. This is why this made my brain mushy, because it's like so
After
similar.
a while, it's like all the same. Well, this guy in particular, I find notable if the song is not, because although I liked the song, because we've talked about this guy at some point. I don't remember when it was. Was it in our military
It must have
episode?
been, because we wouldn't have brought it up otherwise.
Fair enough. This guy is actually, he was and is banished from Korea because when he was supposed to enlist in the army, I believe, I could have the facts wrong, I believe he left, like he went out of the country and was like in the United States and missed the like
his
date.
conscription
period. He missed the period in which he was supposed to enlist in the army. So he was officially exiled from Korea, and basically they told him, don't ever come back. But he was, before that, very popular. He, at a certain point, held the record for the highest first week sales, and overall sold over 1.5 million copies of this particular album and song. So he was really popular, and then he screwed up, and now he's banished.
Wow. Yeah, I can believe that. I mean, he was like fully like sunglassed and giant coated in that, but he had hot boy energy that I could like imagine probably would have worked in his favor.
Absolutely. My last note for November of 2000 is a debut from a woman who is now known as like a very popular ballad and OST singer, but her name is Wax, and her debut song was called Mother's Diary.
알아요 내 앞에서 너 어딘지 알 수 있는 가능인가.
Yes, you are hearing that right. Those are small children.
There is a whole chorus of children on stage with her right then. This was a pretty popular debut, but the like duality of Wax is that she also promoted a song called Oppa. Do you want to play a little clip of it just to see? This is very different vibes.
Very different.
From Mother's Diary. She is wearing like a white corseted spaghetti strap with like high-waisted white bell bottoms
And a cowboy
for the
hat.
children. And then she dons a white cowboy hat and goofy white sunglasses for this opera.
Which I was able to, I think, appropriately
Yes.
trace back to in the year 2000 when Madonna had to come back. That was all like Western themed.
Yeah.
And this feels very much like a direct lift of that. But it bums me out because this opera performance, it's like embarrassing. Like it's not like it's like they didn't give her choreo and they told her to just like put her hands on her head and like shake like she's cute. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it feels very forced and like very overdone.
Super.
She doesn't seem like she's actually having, I don't know. I did not like it.
It's not great, and there's a lot of awkward body rolls. But this woman is still an active singer today, and like has been able to establish a very lucrative career for herself. So
she's
Go
fine.
ahead,
Don't worry
Wax.
about it. The last thing I had for November was another like a big breaking news scandal of 2000, which was Baek Ji-young's sex tape scandal. Which if you want to hear more about that, listen to our episode about managers, because her manager blackmailed her with a sex tape and then she was underage, so his ass went to jail.
Yeah.
It's a bad story, but that was a big piece of pop culture news because like a few months ago we were talking about Baek Ji-young's got this smash first #1 of the year. People love it. But like, oops, brought down.
rough roll of the dice for Baek Ji-young that year.
But she's fine now. So it's
She's
we see
fine
that's
now.
the fun thing about doing this thing that's 20 years ago, because we can be like,
Yeah.
they made it. It's okay.
She is fine now. If you're wondering, like we always talk about Baek Ji-young, she's the one who sang My Ears Candy. Mm-hmm. You've heard her name and that song before. I guarantee it.
Ready for December?
I'm ready.
Close out 2000?
Yes.
So it feels like very SM style. Like this is what they still do to Red Velvet. So like I don't get it. But 5 days before the year ends, SES puts out an album called A Letter from Greenland. And the single is called Show Me Your Love.
우리 둘만의 특별한 얘기 함께 나눠봐요 꿈에게 꽃 꽃잎에 바람 당신의 그 사랑을 그리고 고통하죠
So this, like the Finkel debut or the Finkel comeback a few months before it, SES also was trying to say, we are grown up now.
Yes.
So they're also wearing suits in this music video. This song is actually a cover of a Japanese song by a girl named Misia. So it's like not even an original SES song.
Oh, that's interesting.
But I will note and recommend the second single off this album is called Be Natural. And Red Velvet, before they added Yeri, put out Be Natural as a single, like fully re-recorded it. Did new choreo, but they didn't change. Like the Red Velvet song version is not any different than the SES version. Like it's a very true cover. So if you like the Red Velvet one, the SES one is the same. It's not like Red Velvet didn't have to like work real hard to make it better. I just think Be Natural is better and like probably should have been the main single.
Yeah.
But it also, because it was carried so well by Red Velvet 14 years later, maybe tells me that that song was just ahead of its time and people weren't ready for it.
Maybe.
I don't know. But that's the last comeback that I had for the year, like right before it ended.
I have one other, and this was a group called Diva, and the LP is called Naughty Diva, and the song is called In This Winter.
영원할 것만 같던 그대와 사랑이 얼마나 기다리며 내게로 올런지 I want you back to me 괜찮아 그대 나는 괜찮아 그대 있어주던 그때만큼은 아름다웠어 괜찮아 기억나 김이 모란 나는 연탄에 굴려 눈살 만들어 멋있게 나는 그대를 이쁘게 그대는 나를 눈이 누가 오는 건지 떠나 그대가 안타까워 습이 오는 건지 우리 하늘 바라보며 계속 누워
So this is a 3-member girl group that has these like gorgeous husky lady rappers.
Oh my God, their voices are so deep and
They're
cool.
so low. One of them, when I wasn't watching the video and I was just listening to it, I thought it was a man. And it's not. It's a girl group. But they're wonderful. I was really into Diva. I hope that all current K-pop rappers are, like female rappers are, looking to them as inspiration. I saw some real Moonbyul energy.
Yes.
In that
They have like
performance.
great Moonbyul energy, like just very good swag. Like
Yeah.
they did not have that scared on stage thing that some of the other people did.
No, they looked so cool. So cool.
So that's great. And just like to note, at the end of the year, Seoul Music Awards and stuff, Daesangs went to G.O.D. and Finkel and Jung-hwa and Jo Sung-mo, that guy with the movie soundtrack. Popularity Awards went to Baby Vox and Click B.
Golden Disc Popularity Awards went to Country Coco and Shinhwa. Let's see. I have a few mamas, but at the time it was called the Mnet MV Music Video Festival.
Oh, okay.
That the music video of the year was for Jo Sung-mo. And like Boa won New Female. Let's see. Best Girl Group was Finkel. Best Male Group was G.O.D. Chakra won Best New Group. Yeah, Chakra did pretty well. And
For
to no
debut
surprise,
group,
so did Baby Vox and Shinhwa and Klon in SBS Gaio, Mamas, and Golden Discs.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the year 2000. The next thing I have in my list is like, we've brought it up, but just like trends of the year that we noticed.
Sure.
One thing I haven't brought up yet is ring lights in the music videos. It seemed to be the year that somebody discovered the beauty of a ring light, which is like a actual ring of light you put on top of the camera and then it like whitens all of the part around your eyes. Every music video I saw had like the most intense ring light so that people have these like crazy glowy cartoon eyes. So that was definitely a thing that I saw a lot.
Also, so many strobes on stage and in the music videos. So a warning to anyone who may have epilepsy or like any kind of issues of that sense. Like, please don't go watch these. We made a playlist, but don't do it if you have like light sensitivity issues, because there's so much fucking strobe in everything. It's painful.
And for the music camp stages, like, if they're like on top of the strobing, there was also a lot of like nauseating camera work.
Yes.
Like fully spinning the camera or like having the camera go and zooming in and out. There were a couple of performances I had to look away from or just like leave because the camera work was making me nauseous.
Yeah. I also noted that there were just backup dancers galore. Like
so many backup dancers.
To a point where I mean, many groups and soloists and stuff like still do use backup dancers today, but it felt more. It felt to a larger degree.
It might have been a limitation of the camera technology at the time or something. Especially with the like music camp performances, where I feel like nowadays a group might have 15 backup dancers, but because they have 12 cameras on them and they are mostly doing member close-ups, you don't see the background members as much. But in these like music camp stages, there's a lot of like wides and crowd shots and like very far away stuff. And they probably recorded that live and did not get to like go back and fix camera angles if they had like cued to the wrong one. So I think the bigger picture of the stage meant that the backup dancers feel more noticeable because you can see all of them all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots. Another thing I wrote, and I don't know if it was just like camera tricks or if it was style or if it was whatever, but I wrote, people were tanner then.
They were tanner.
Just like tanner.
Yeah, they definitely
Generally tanner.
Because it seemed more of like just like whatever your natural skin tone happened to be. And like they weren't afraid of like spending time in the sun. And what's his bucket who always wears the sunglasses from GOD? His face is like leather. He loves the sun.
He loves the sun.
He loves it.
He's still the brownest boy around.
So brown with his silver hair. I also wrote that I guess noisiness has always been beloved in Korean music because there's just so much.
Lots of noise. Lots of noise. But yeah, I guess it might have just been like a symbol of music production at the time. And I wish I was like more knowledgeable about music and instruments. But the very specific drum beats and piano sounds and like the sounds that are being used are so familiar, but like so of a very specific time period. And it also made the majority of these songs sound like each other.
Yeah.
Because everybody was like using the exact same things. And I feel like it's happened that the 2020 equivalent of that is that like everyone uses the same like standard trap beat for their like rap part or whatever. Like those things come around. But yeah, we didn't talk much about it, but I wrote hair architecture because when watching the music camps specifically, there was just people were doing things with their hair. I like didn't know you could do things with hair. Like it just felt like a comical Hunger Games-y, like Star Wars, some like Queen Amidala. Like there was a Baby Vox performance I saw where one of the girls' hair was like literally coming like 1.5 feet off of her head, but it had like big hollow circles in it. Like it had been crazily like gelled to have like holes in it, but like was massive. And then there was an announcer on music camp who had her hair had been like crisscross glued across her forehead like it was like, you know, like one of those pretty lacy caps, but it was made out of her hair.
So weird.
And like so many extensions and so many braids and piled so high and like just it felt like people were trying to go to new heights with like, what can we do with hair?
Incredibly literally.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Ankle-length skirts on everyone. Boys in ankle-length skirt, like ankle-length skirts. Boys wearing glasses, goggles, yarn braids. So many yarn braids. Forehead, little bitty forehead bands with like a single jewel hanging down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just all of it, nothing about it. It was like 2000s fashion that I remembered, but a lot of it was like stepped up 10 steps. But a lot of it did feel very familiar.
Absolutely, because it's a lot of the same color schemes with those like metallics and like neons. A lot of the same cuts of things, like the same silhouettes as far as like higher waisted pants or either like higher waisted or super low, like no
Super
in between.
low, yeah.
And then like little
halters, tubes,
plastic material,
tops made of weird things that like aren't real shirts, like shirts that aren't shirts.
Yeah,
is kind of
translucent
cool.
panels in things,
Clear stuff,
yeah.
shiny stuff. But yeah, everybody was using that same shitty drugstore peroxide to dye their hair, and it all looks bad. It all looks bad. Yeah, let's see. What else do I have about 2000? I just like wrote, I have a part in my notes that's called mysteries because there were a lot of groups that I would watch whole stages for and then could not in English or Korean find a goddamn thing about them. So like there was some girl named Tammy. That was kind of good. Don't know what happened to her. There was a group called SZ, and their song was called Who Are You? So when I was trying to find SZ, Who Are You? It was like not happening.
Yikes.
I saw a girl rock band named Ada, AIDA. They had a kind of like Josie and the Pussycats vibe, but like with bad jeans. Kind of liked that. There was like a solo artist dude named Bizu who like dressed like a cult member, like in a like long tunic. And he had like a girl who was also wearing a tunic. And she was amazing. She was like such a good singer. And she just like sang the hooks on his song. And I was like, she's good. So I made note of that. And then we also saw a performance of this boy group called MST that I couldn't find anything about, but one of them had like shoulder length, like Jonghan Tarzan hair.
Yeah.
And it was like
It's very
beefy, like
pretty.
Shonu, but like had long hair. And they were wearing like clear plastic raincoats.
Oh, these clear plastic raincoats with just like white tank tops and very thin fabric.
But you could
white
see
pants.
the line of where their
You can
underpants
see-
were.
And they were all wearing like shorts, like knee-length shorts underneath the pants. So they obviously knew they were see-through, but they were good.
They were good.
They were good.
But I couldn't find a single thing about them. So that's all I have written down. But the point is that we dove into a year and there was so much to see.
So much. I have one scandal that we didn't
Oh,
mention.
please.
So there's a hip hop group called Uptown.
Okay.
And the four original members were a guy named Chris Jung, Carlos Galvan, Steve Kim.
Carlos.
Yes.
Okay, go on.
And Tasha Reed, aka Yoon Mi-rae.
Yoon Mi-rae.
Yes. So poor Yoon Mi-rae was involved in this group, but the three men of the group, so it was like three guys and Yoon Mi-rae, who we've brought up many times. She's an iconic hip hop star of Korea. She's married to
Tiger JK.
And this group, Uptown, so the three male members in it in the year 2000 were arrested for injecting liquid meth.
Oh no, meth!
Liquid meth!
Oh, meth is very bad. Oh
With-
no.
So these three guys, along with two female college students, they were all around the same age. Like these guys were like in their
Right.
early 20s at the time. So it's not like a creepy thing, but they're just like all five of them are like getting together and doing math. Both Yoon Mi-rae and Tiger JK were questioned in relation to this
Drug scandal.
wrongdoing, this drug scandal. JK was even like had a threat of charges against him because he had allowed some of the members to like stay in his house. And the question was like, did they do drugs in the house?
no.
And did he know about it?
no.
Ultimately, the part that made me like, ugh, okay, laugh a little bit is that all three of these men, Chris Jung, Carlos Galvan, Steve Kim, they're all second generation Korean citizens. Like their family is from, their families are from the United States, and each one of them has lived in the United States for a certain point. So basically the Korean media was just like, they started doing drugs in the States. This is all because they spent time in the States. And that was even one of the arguments like made in court. But yeah, the group broke up because of it.
Wow.
Because they all went to jail.
That's shocking. But I honestly kind of don't blame them for making that like the making that the
main
argument.
Yeah.
Because
it's not inaccurate, I'm sure.
Drugs are different here than they are there. I get it.
Yeah. And there was like a long list of other drugs that they probably partook in, but the liquid meth really stuck out to me.
Yeah, don't do meth, guys. Come on.
I also didn't know you could inject meth. I thought it was something you smoked.
I think you can do meth in all kinds of ways.
Wow.
We don't encourage meth use on this podcast.
The more you know. We do not encourage meth use. That is true.
Well, I had a very good time going back in time and reading and learning and watching all about 2000s K-pop. I definitely am going to like buy a few of these and keep them on my rotation. And there are a few that I don't ever need to hear again.
No.
Yeah?
No, I do not. But that one guy's song, Mama.
Yes, I loved that one. That one was fun.
That was great.
Gonna listen to that one forever.
Oh, Maya.
All right, we'll be back with our random game. All right, we're back. At first, we were going to have the random game only choose from the year 2000, but oops, there were only the 3 groups that we talked about. So, duh. We just went through it regular. And today we got Top Dog.
2 P's, 2 G's. Top Padagoga.
Topapadagoga. And Topapagaga is now called Zenoti. They changed their name 2 years ago.
They did. They reformed in 2018. They originally debuted in 2013 as Top Dog. How many members did they originally have?
They started out with 1. Wait, that cannot be right. This has got to be wrong because that would make them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, a 13 member group.
13 member group at the beginning.
Originally a 13-member group.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, damn. So there were 13 of them.
Originally a 13-member group from Stardom Entertainment. Is that the name of their company? Stardom?
Stardom, yeah.
Yes. So Stardom Entertainment, eventually after a couple years into their career, they moved to Hunus or Hunus Entertainment. I don't know. At which point 2 of the members sued the company for, quote, mismanagement of their career in an attempt to leave. This was confirmed by the company, Hunus, whatever. And they've had a couple of different member changes. They're currently a 5-member group. So throughout the years, they kind of just like lost 2 members this year. Then they lost 3 members. Then they lost another 2. Then they lost a blah, whatever. So now there's only 5 of them.
And it seems like since about 2016, they've just been operating as like a reality show group. Like some of them did Show Me the Money, which is a rap competition. And then some of them did The Unit. And some of them did Produce 101 Season 2. Like,
yeah. So they've been like out and about, but they haven't really been promoting together. And they currently have 5 members, all of whom have been there from the beginning. So they've never added members. They've only ever lost members. And for some reason, Top Dog, that name is so familiar to me, and I like can't think of why.
I agree.
I don't know what song it is that I know of theirs, but maybe it'll be their most popular one.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
So their most popular music video is called Araio, and it came out in 2014 or 2015. Araio, 2014. And
how many
it
members
has
did they have at that time?
4.5 million views. In 2014, according to this, that was all of them.
Oh, all right then.
This was their
because they debuted in 2013.
Second EP.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're wearing in the screen cap. One of them is wearing like traditional, like old-timey Korean drama hat. So we'll see what happens. All right, here comes Top Dog, Arayo.
Stardom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, traditional instruments. Okay, and boys dressed in all white.
Okay, so the instrumentation of this is like a mixture of traditional Korean string and drum instruments. And we're cutting back and forth between like the boys being dressed in traditional outfits and then being dressed in like cool hip hop outfits.
Yeah, drop crotch pants and backwards hats and
etc.
etc. Yeah,
and
tiny
a fancy
Mini
car
Cooper,
in their handbook. Was she wearing hanbok like without the jacket over it?
Yeah, where it's just the tube top part.
Oh.
Very scandalous.
Oh no.
Oh, braid hat.
Ooh, but fans. I love a fan choreography. The girls body rolling in their hanbok is pretty ridiculous. I can't believe this group had 13 members in it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do they have, God, I'm so curious. Like, do they have like a member who's really famous or something? Like,
I don't know.
why do I know them but don't know anything about them?
Yeah, that's definitely a hat with braids. Because in the other scene, that member has very short hair.
We don't like hat
We
braids.
do not
We've
like
said this
braid
many
hats.
times before.
I bet this is a really cool live performance. They seem to have fun with their choreography. And they keep like thwarping the fans, but they're not doing anything with the fans.
Yeah. But they thwop them.
They thwarp them.
They also have masks.
I keep seeing these members' faces really quickly and thinking that they're other people.
Yeah. I feel like that is the trick, is like once you've like learned about like 50 celebrities, then you can start making any people just like, oh, they look like this person. My favorite game to play while I watch TV is which
Who does
two
this person
celebrities
look like?
does this
Yeah.
person look like? If you mushed two faces, who would they look like?
True.
And yeah,
And you can do that
13
for American celebrities
Yeah.
too. This is not an exclusively
No,
K-pop
it surely
game.
is not. But yeah, there's like a whole, like a 13-member group. I'm gonna find like 7 of them who
yeah.
have doppelgangers. in
I've
another
already
group.
seen a Bam Bam.
Oh,
Whoopie boy! This song is very fun.
Yeah, it is fun. I like the instrumentation a lot. That sounds like that Na La Li
Whoa!
thing that was in Sunmi's last song. Oh, and there we go.
What I said whoa because one of the guys did this like crazy move where he had his like legs hooked around another member's waist and like his hands on the ground, and then he like twisted and flipped like up. It was crazy. I know that was a bad description of what happened, but it was very cool.
No, it was cool. So that was Top Dog.
Yeah. That's gonna bug me why I know who they are.
I know. Okay. With that, we are finally done with our Beast of a Year 2000 episode. Do you have any recommendations for this episode?
I don't know.
Because I think my only recommendation is to check out the playlist that we'll put up on our YouTube channel for this episode. Watch a full episode of Music Camp on NBC's YouTube channel, just because I'm proud of them for putting all of that stuff up. And I think it's really cool that you can watch like a whole episode of something from 20 years ago.
That is very cool.
And I think a lot of the things that we've talked about for these last 2 weeks, like, need to be seen to be believed. So truly my honest recommendation is like, go watch some of the stuff that we talked about, because I need y'all to see it. I just need you to see it so that we can all be here together.
And if you want an example of some of these artists' long-lasting impact, watch 17 on Jung-hwa's Immortal Song, because I'll never not take an excuse to recommend that.
Absolutely. I honestly think a ton of the songs that we talked about today, if you typed in their title, like a modern group has probably covered them like once.
For sure.
It definitely happens.
For sure.
Okay. If you would like to talk to us online, we can be found at AMA Kpop Pod on Twitter and Instagram, amakpoppod@gmail.com, AMA Kpop on Spotify for all of our playlists, AMA Kpop the podcast, or Ask Me About Kpop the podcast on YouTube. 181 AMA Kpop 5 is our number if you want to leave us a voicemail. And we'll be back next week with something fun. Thanks for hanging in on this 2-part trip down memory lane to memories we didn't even have and visiting 20 years ago and
But
K-pop.
memories we'll never forget.
Oh, surely we'll never forget. All right. Bye-bye. Jonghyun, your inspiration.